Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. I'm your host Safa and you are listening to Crime Pod. Previously on this channel, we have covered the case of Jolly Amma Joseph. If you haven't stumbled upon that video, the link is already given in the I button of this video. Do check it out. Let's get into today's video. Today's case is about error in one's judgment. How a lapse in judgment and bad decisions of a person led him to commit something truly abhorrent and criminal. And then years after the fact, another judgment, this time by a court of law, which is regarded as lousy by huge majority, released a convict back into society. Before we dive into today's case, I have a question for all of you watching. Suppose you find out that your significant other is being unfaithful. You come home one day and find your partner deep into telephonic conversation with someone. Obviously, you feel anger welling up inside you and you would feel betrayed. But your anger and fury wouldn't be as such that you lose your wits and cannot control your anger. You wouldn't vent out your anger by killing your partner, the person you took vows with, chop them to bits and cure the body to hide evidence by using something no one even thought of. This is the case that is famous for not how someone got killed, but by the way how their killer thought of disposing of their body. This is Delhi's infamous Tandoor Murder Case, the case of Naina Sahni and Sushil Sharma. Our story takes place on the hot summer night of July 2nd, 1995. On the bustling streets of Delhi near Ashoka Road, two men, Police Constable Ahmed Nazir Kunju and Home Guard Chandrapal, were on their night patrolling duty when they saw smoke billowing out from Ashok Yatri Hotel. So intrigued, they went on to check it, as it might be concerning. They reached there, and the guard of the Bagia barbecue restaurant at Ashok Yatri Hotel told them that it was the smoke from the burning tandoor. That's what they call a clay oven in Hindi. Whilst they were questioning the guard, a man wearing white kurta came from the inside and told them that he is from a political party and they were just burning down the waste paper for their election campaign. After being cinched that everything was alright and advising the man to be cautious, Constable Kunju and Chandrapal left the hotel and started patrolling the other lane. They had only walked a few steps when they heard a woman's voice crying for help. They turned around and saw huge blazes of fire coming from that same restaurant. This time, they thought that the fire might burn down the whole restaurant, so Constable Kunju called for backup and fire brigade. Whilst the help was on its way, both went to check out the situation for themselves and found that the gate to the hotel was locked from the inside. So they were left with no choice but to jump inside by climbing the hotel wall. When they were both inside, they saw huge blazes coming from that same tandoor and two men were standing there fanning the flames. Kunju approached the two and they assured him that they were just burning waste. But Constable Kunju found the fire unusual, as the smell coming from the tandoor was pungent and seemed like human skin burning down. To check out what it was, Constable Kunju inched closer towards the tandoor and he saw something that looked like entrails of a human. Both Constable Kunju and Home Guard Chandrapal got to work and doused off the flames by buckets of water. When the fire was out, they saw before their eyes a burned human torso with melted skin on the lower part. At the same time, the backup team had arrived at the situation and one of the two men was arrested. The other one, wearing white kurta, fled the scene. The man they arrested from the crime scene was the manager of the Bagia barbecue restaurant, Keshav Kumar. Police began their search for the second man. The burned body was sent to the coroner office where it was identified as Ravi Naina Sahni. Ravi Naina Sahni was born on April 13, 1966 to Sardar Harbhajan Singh and Jaswant Kaur. She belonged to a middle-class family. Her father was a storekeeper in an ordnance factory while her mother was a teacher. Naina reportedly was the youngest of the 6 siblings. I said reportedly because I wasn't able to ratify this. If we talk about her early life and education, Naina graduated from Shyam Prasad Mukherjee College of Delhi University in 1986. Naina was deeply involved in college politics and was also an active member of NSUI. That's the National Student Union of India, the student wing of the Indian National Congress. She became the All India Girls Convener of NSUI while studying at SPMC. After that, she joined Delhi Flying Club to get a student pilot's license and then got a private pilot's license in the United Kingdom. Soon after that, Naina came back to politics and joined the Delhi Youth Congress as General Secretary in 1989. Her neighbors defined her as an outspoken and confident person. While working with Delhi Youth Congress, she met 25 years old Sushil Sharma, a fellow politician and also the president of NSUI. He was the one who nominated Naina for the post of State General Secretary in 1989. Sushil Sharma was born on April 24, 1964 to Sardar Harcharan Singh and Sardarni Gurcharan Kaur. His father was a bank clerk who moved up to become deputy manager and his mother was a housewife. Hailing from a lower middle class family, Sushil wanted to change his status and surely he did that. He completed his schooling at Modern School, New Delhi and graduated with a Bachelor's of Art from Hindu College, University of Delhi. Sushil also obtained a master's degree in business administration from the University of Delhi. While he was in college, he was politically active and soon he was elected as the student leader. People described him as a hot-headed and brazen person. Sushil was known as Chakumar as he would slash the posters of rival students later. As time drew on, his attitude and boldness grew. He started to carry .32 revolver and abducting political rivals whom he would threaten. He was also involved in an assault of a DCP, a case which is still being fought in the Delhi High Court. Soon he rose from the rank of Student Union President of Delhi's University Satyavati College to the Chief of Delhi Pradesh Youth Congress. Sushil was very manipulative and clever. He knew whom to tag with and from whom should he stay away from. Having established himself as a dedicated party worker of the Congress Party, Sushil sought a party ticket for the Lok Sabha elections. According to party resources, Sushil went on to threaten even Rajiv Gandhi, the premier leader of Congress at that time, saying that the elections would get really irksome if he didn't get the ticket. This act of open brazenness infuriated Rajiv Gandhi, who immediately threw him out of the office. He ordered that he be immediately expelled, said Maninderjeet Singh Bitta. But a few weeks later, Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated and Sushil's stunt was seemingly thrown under the rug and he continued to thrive in the party. Sushil was now hanging in the company of ministers, seeking and occasionally providing favors, making money all while his ambition in politics were getting loftier and loftier. According to some reports, Sushil was monumental in brokering the Baggia barbecue restaurant deal, though the ITDC disagrees and insists that it was above board. Now if we come back to Naina Sahni, she at one point was involved in a romantic relationship with a fellow politician Matloob Karim. But as Naina was a Sikh and Matloob from a Muslim family, their relationship wasn't meant to be. And in 1988, Matloob Karim married a woman from his community named Nazgul. After Matloob's marriage, Naina moved on with her life. She again fell in love and this time with her best friend Sushil Sharma. In May of 1992, Sushil and Naina got married in the Birla Mandir. At the time of their wedding, Sushil made it clear to Naina that for their marriage to work out, she had to say goodbye to her political career, to which Naina agreed. Moreover, only Naina's family was present on the wedding and there was no one from Sushil's side. It seemed like Sushil wanted to hide his marriage, and when Naina asked him to disclose this news to his family and friends, he simply told her that he first wanted to become something in his life and only then will he disclose this. This was when the seed of discourse were planted in their relationship. Sushil and Naina after their wedding started living in an apartment in Gol Market 8x2A Sector 2 Mandir Marg. Naina ran a boutique and looked after her house, but their marriage soon started to rot. Sushil was leading a double life. For the world, he was a soft-spoken, timid man who regularly visited temples, but behind the closed doors, he was a monster. According to his co-workers, he was a ladies' man and never refused any of them a favor. He also did a favor for Naina's aunt. That's how he first came in contact with Naina. Sushil liked power and holding dominion over others, but Naina wasn't a submissive lady. Sushil, after getting drunk, would beat her and lock her up in their apartment. One day, Matloob Karim got a call from Naina Sahni. She was crying and told Matloob that Sushil beats her every day, and he even once brandished his gun at her and misfired to scare her. Naina at this point also became aware of Sushil's affair with a woman named Illa, to whom he had promised a parliament ticket. Naina, who had now realized that there was nothing left in this secret marriage, decided to end it and moved to Australia. where she wanted to start an export business. She asked Matloob to arrange for a ticket, and he promised to help her and told her that she had to wait for some days for the visa procedure. After Matloob's reassurance, Naina confronted Sushil and asked for a divorce so that she could settle in Australia. Hearing all this from Naina, Sushil became very angry and an argument ensued, after which Sushil left the apartment. On the fateful night of July 2, 1995, Sushil, festering up inside with the anger and rage he had for his wife, came home at around 8:15 pm. He saw Naina talking on phone with a liquor bottle in her hand. Upon seeing Sushil, she hung up. She got nervous because on the other side of the phone was Matloob, who was informing about her visa situation and the ticket. Sushil knew whom she was talking to, and to confirm his suspicion, he redialed the number. And he instantly recognized the voice on the other end. It was of Matloob Karim. In a fit of rage, Sushil pulled out his gun and shot Naina 3 times. Once in the head and once in the neck, and the third shot he had fired missed and struck the plywood in the air conditioner. Upon realizing what he had done, he rolled the body in a blanket, wrapped it again in a plastic sheet, and changed his kurta, as it was at that point drenched in blood. He then wiped off the blood from the floor and dragged the body all the way from the stairs to his car, a Maruti Suzuki. Jagdev Singh, a neighbor, later recalled seeing Sushil stuff something in the car. He stuffed the body in the car trunk and drove from Mandir Marg to Feroz Shah Road, heading due Yamuna River. It was at around 9:30 pm and he had planned to dispose the body in the river. But when Sushil reached the ITO bridge that spanned across the Yamuna River, he realized that it was not a good idea to dispose of the body here. First thing, the Delhi police headquarters was near. And second, there was a lot of traffic on the bridge. So at around 10:15 pm, Sushil arrived at Baggia Barbecue Restaurant in Hotel Ashok Yatri. He had decided to incinerate Naina's body in the tandoor, akin to Hindus' traditional way of cremation. For that, he asked Keshav Kumar, a close friend of his and the hotel manager, to wrap the body in tarpaulin and dragged it inside the hotel. At Sushil's behest, Keshav had called it a day and sent the staff home. Wood and party literature were then used to build a pyre over the tandoor by Sharma and Kumar. But Naina's body didn't fit inside the tandoor, so Sushil, who had at this point lost all of his humanity, decided to cut down her arms and legs. Keshav bought all the ghee and butter from the restaurant to help burn the body, but the flames rose so high that it had started to get noticed by the others. The witnesses to that include Connaught Police Constable Ahmed Nazir Kunju and Home Guard Chandrapal, who, as mentioned at the start of this video, was patrolling the area on the night of July 2, 1995. Constable Kunju asked about the fire, but Keshav and Sushil told him that they were just burning old party posters. After being assured by Sushil, Kunju and Chandrapal left the hotel, but walking a few steps, they heard a vegetable vendor, Naro Devi, crying for help, shouting about fire at the restaurant they just rode out of. Kunju felt that something was amiss, so he returned to hotel and jumped from the wall to get inside. He saw Sushil and Keshav burning something inside the tandoor and constantly fanning the flames. Moreover, the flames were unusual. Constable Kunju, with the help of Chandrapal, doused the flames and the burned body was recovered from the tandoor. The backup team soon arrived at the scene and they nabbed Keshav Kumar on the spot, who didn't waste a breath and instantly spilled the beans on his friend, the other man with him. A widespread manhunt was launched to nab that man. The body was taken for autopsy, where it was identified as the body of Naina Sahni. The body was in such condition that it was difficult to be identified, but Matloob Karim, Naina's ex, identified her by the texture of her nose and by her hairstyle. The first autopsy was conducted at the Lady Harding Medical College and the cause of death was determined to be burn injuries. According to that autopsy report, Naina died from excessive bleeding and was most likely unconscious when she was dismembered. She had alcohol in her stomach. Not convinced by this, the Delhi police had requested a second, more thorough autopsy, as the initial one failed to determine whether her body was cut into pieces before or after she had died. The second autopsy was ordered by Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, which was conducted by a team of 3 doctors from 3 different hospitals headed by T.D. Dogra. They detected 2 bullets in the body, one in the head and another in the neck region. This time, the opined cause of death was firearm injuries. This autopsy report changed the whole picture. On 4th of July 1995, they searched the entire apartment of Naina and Sushil in the Gold Market. They found shells of .32 revolver along with other items which are blood-stained clothes, carpet, hair with blood, a bullet lead, empty cartridge cases and a blood-soaked men's underwear. They also found hair and blood in Sushil's car. There were bloodstains on clothes of Keshav Kumar. These evidence were enough to prove that Sushil was the one who killed his wife, and on top of that, he was on the run. 9 days after the murder, Sushil surrendered himself in Bangalore. Initially, Sushil claimed that he had gone on a pilgrimage on the morning of July 2nd in a DLY taxi summoned by Naina and knew nothing about the murder. He said that he went to Ajmer, Jaipur and then Bombay. From Jaipur, he flew to Bombay and even had a ticket counterfoil to prove it. But when he was asked about the names of the temples he visited in Ajmer, he said he didn't remember because he visited at night. From Bombay, he said that he travelled to Madras on a Jet Airways flight and it was there that he first heard about being implicated in his wife's murder. He immediately hired S. Ananta Narayan as his lawyer, who moved for an interim bail. After that, the lawyer and he travelled to Tirupati by car to visit the Venkateshwara temple. To prove this, Sushil had some prasad and a prasad ticket with him. He even had his head tonsured and his moustache shaved off. He said that by the time the two returned to Madras, a higher court had struck down the bail granted to him, and he and his lawyer then came to Vellore and reached Bangalore to surrender before the police. When this story didn't work, Sushil tried to steer the blame and said that his political rival Maninderjit Singh Bitta had hatched a political conspiracy against him. When even that stand didn't do him any favor, he changed his story again and said that he was infuriated with Naina because of her alleged affairs. He had reportedly named two persons, one was a young central minister and the other an older former minister. Police officers were skeptical and one of them had this to say: "He will be spinning a lot of such stories the next few days to confuse us or change the charge from murder to manslaughter." Delhi police investigated the case and filed a charge sheet against him on 27th of July 1995. As all of the evidence were against Sushil, he had no way to go. So finally, after a lot of cockamamie stories, he admitted of murdering his wife Naina Sahni. He categorically told us that he had in fact murdered his wife, said a senior police officer investigating the case. Sushil Sharma was given a death sentence by a trial court in 2003, and the Delhi High Court upheld it in 2007. According to Section 120B and 201 of the Indian Penal Code, Keshav Kumar was sentenced 7 years of rigorous punishment because he was a facilitator and tried to pervert the course of law. The Supreme Court mitigated Sushil Sharma's death sentence to life imprisonment on October 8, 2013, stating that there was no evidence of Sharma chopping his wife's body and the murder was the outcome of strained personal relationship and the convict was not a confirmed criminal. The Delhi court ordered the release of the former youth leader as under the remission policy in Delhi. A convict whose death sentence has been commuted to life imprisonment has a right to be released early if he has already spent a period of 20 years behind bars, and Sushil failed at billing. The Delhi government went to plea against this decision and refused to release Sharma on remission. But as Delhi police couldn't show a cogent reason why Sushil shouldn't be released back into the society, the High Court took into account his good behavior in jail, and after a clean chit from Government Social Welfare Department and his chief probation officer, he was released on 21st of December 2018. The court noted that Sushil's age and infirm parents needed him. He was released at the age of 54 and at the time of his release had spent more than 20 years incarcerated. Sushil Sharma, who celebrated his 60th birthday just this January, said that his focus now is to serve his aged parents who have suffered for no fault of theirs. He said every day before going to bed, my father, who is now 85, would think, "Will I will be able to see my son walk out of jail while I am still alive?" My younger brother, who was a first-year student of the Hindu college, died in a road accident in 1978. It was a double tragedy for my family when I was also sentenced. I want to spend maximum time with them as they have gone through a lot despite not being at fault, added Sushil. He also said, "My life is a clean slate now and I have to write my ABCDs afresh." While giving an interview to NDTV, he said, "I admit it was my mistake and I had to suffer for it. In the process, one person lost her life and the other's life was similar to death." He said that he had thought about what happened that moment when he killed Sani and what had actually led to it. "I have learned many lessons," said Sushil, while standing outside a temple. Sharma wants to give counseling to young lads and lasses and says that it was he who had played a pivotal role in making sure that the Hard Jail provides counseling to its inmates. Sharma said that he had observed his fellows and had analyzed their psyche and can use it to teach others how to prevent incidents stemming from unbidden rage. "Couples should at least get 3 months counseling when they start their conjugal life," said Sharma. In 2023, Government of Delhi, after 4 years of Sushil's release, went to India's Premier Court, but their appeal was nixed on the ground that it wasn't maintainable. Maxwell Pereira, who investigated the Tandoor Kant case, wrote a book named Tandoor Murder Case, The Crime That Shook This Nation and Brought a Government to Its Knees. If you want to study more on this case, do check it out. That's all about the case of Naina Sahni, the Tandoor Kant murder case that shook the whole Delhi state. Tell me in the comment section if you agree with the court's judgment or not. I hope you liked the case study with me. If you do, like this video, leave a comment if you have any suggestion, subscribe if you haven't subscribed so you're never gonna miss any of our future uploads. This is Safa signing off with Crime Pod.